Today you'll be making a model of the earth using modeling clay. You'll work together with a partner to make the model, and then you guys will cut it in half and each of you will get one half of it. This type of model is called a cross section because we're looking at a cross section of the earth. To make this model, you're going to start by making the inner core, wrap the outer core around it, and then wrap the mantle around that, and then wrap the crust around that. So we're actually starting in the middle. So the first thing you'll do is take a small piece of clay and roll it into a tight, tiny little ball to make the inner core. So make this really, really small because it is our second smallest layer, and also make this nice and solid. It's a hot layer, the hottest layer at over 9,000 degrees. In real life, this would be made of iron and nickel. And remember that it is solid because of the amount of pressure. So even though it's really high temperatures, there is miles and miles and miles of rock on top of it, pushing it down so it's solid. After you've made your ball for the inner clay, now you're going to go ahead and create the outer core around it. Your outer core layer, you're going to start by just taking that clay and stretching it out to make it kind of a rectangle shape. So while you're flattening that out, I'll tell you a little bit about the outer core. First of all, as you flatten that clay, just remember that this should be a liquid layer. The outer core is actually a liquid. And as the earth rotates, that liquid outer core is shifting around. Remember that this outer core is also made out of iron and nickel, but because it's in a liquid form and it shifts around, it actually causes the earth to be magnetic. So a compass works because the earth is magnetic. That's why we have north poles and south poles for the earth. And that magnetism is actually part of what helps to protect the earth from the dangerous ultraviolet light radiation that comes from the sun. After you flatten it out, then go ahead and take your flattened rectangle for the outer core, and then go ahead and mold that around the inner core ball to make kind of a bowl shape. Wrap that clay around the inner core and kind of pull it closer and closer together until it completely surrounds your inner core. Go ahead and pull that closed so that you can't see the inner core anymore. And then kind of smush it down and roll it around so that it is back into a ball shape. So roll it around into a sphere. And now you've made your outer core. Next layer is going to be to go ahead and make our mantle. And this, of course, is going to be our thickest layer. So you want to use as much of that clay as possible for your mantle. And as you make that thick outer layer, you'll repeat the same process you did for the outer core. So you're going to stretch that clay out and flatten it kind of into a rectangle shape. This layer should be a gooey solid. Now, of course, we're using modeling clay, so it's all going to be the same type of thickness and texture to it. But the mantle is like a gooey solid, kind of like Jello. That Jello, however, does have a lot of heat in it, and so it does move around. There are heat waves that move in patterns through that Jello, just like boiling water or a pot on a stove would have waves of heat patterns. So if you actually look at our mantle, we know that there are these repeated patterns of how the heat moves through it. That'll be important later because that's what causes earthquakes and volcanoes. So now that you've got your mantle flattened out, then go ahead and mold that clay into a bowl shape. And again, wrap it around the outer core so that it's completely covering the outer core and inner core. And go ahead and pull it completely closed and then kind of smooth it out into a sphere shape. So now you have your mantle made. That leaves our last layer, of course, which is the crust. And our crust should be the absolute thinnest layer. So you really won't need a whole lot of clay for this one at all. You want to stretch it really, 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 really thin. It's only 5 to 9 miles thick for our crust. And the crust is kind of like the lid on top of a pot that is really, really hot. So inside the earth, we have all this heat, and the crust is the outside part there. And occasionally, all that heat breaks through the crust and causes things like volcanoes and earthquakes that we'll look at a little bit later. So it's kind of like the Earth's crust is this big, gigantic, cracked eggshell where all the heat from inside the earth escapes out and makes cracks, where we have our earthquakes and volcanoes. So as you make your crust, of course, you'll have oceanic crust, which is the ocean, and then you'll have the continental crust, which is the land. You can use green for that. So try by first just making a little space at the bottom for the continent of Antarctica. And I'm not super worried about these being geographically accurate. So just some green lumps is fine, but here's North and South America as another continent that you can add in there. And then that's what the continent of Africa looks like. And I added that one in for my model. Then I went ahead and made Europe and Asia, and you can see I'm sort of just making green blobs. These are not super accurate. So I added Europe and Asia in, and then here is Australia added in there in the southern hemisphere. And then I just filled the rest of it in with blue all the way around. So again, don't worry too much about those continents being perfectly accurate. Just add some green blobs in there. And then the last step you will need a teacher to assist you with is to go ahead and cut that down the middle to make your cross section. Now, if you rolled everything really nice and tight together, then when you cut it, it'll come apart nice and neatly, but usually there'll be some gaps in it. So once you cut it open, then you might have to kind of smooth it together to make the layers stick. So I just kind of took my thumb and pushed and adjusted the layers so that they came together. And then our last step would be to go ahead and label it. So we'll use toothpicks and labels to label our 4 different layers, and both partners should have these layers labeled on their half that is theirs. So again, you're going to have your 2 halves, and one partner will take one half, one partner will take the other half, and you're going to go ahead and label it. So go ahead and write inner core, outer core, mantle, and crust. Go ahead and peel those off, stick them on your toothpicks to make your little toothpick flags, and go ahead and stick those into each part so that you have a nice labeled model of the Earth. And then you can go ahead and share that out. We'll put it on display, and then you'll be able to take it home in a couple days.